Hey guys, it's Mr. Jack000 here, back with Automation the Car Company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the TA2 Ford Mustang. This is a 6th generation Mustang that's specifically built to compete in the Trans-Am series in the TA2 class. It complies with their regulations as it exceeds the minimum weight, no driving aids, suspension type, engine size, materials used, and many more. The general design of the car is inspired by Tony Buffomante's 2019 Mustang, as it was more simpler to design compared to his championship-winning car back in 2016. It has a lap time of 1 minute, 16 seconds, 59 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track, and 2 minutes, 6 seconds, 96 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 199 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds flat. This vehicle uses the Ilmor 374 cubic inch or 6.1 liter V8 engine that produces 499.9 horsepower and 418.6 foot-pounds of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 11.1 miles per gallon and weighs 2,830.1 pounds or 1,283.7 kilograms. And for the market, it mediocrely competes in both of the track and muscle car markets for both premium and standard, even though it's strictly a racing vehicle. In terms of how I created the TA2 Mustang, the panel material will be made out of fiberglass with a space frame chassis made out of AHS steel, with a front longitudinal engine placement, and the front suspension is a McPherson strut, and the rear suspension is a solid axle coil. For the engine, it is a 90-degree V8 engine made out of aluminum with the bore set to 104.8mm and a stroke at 88.9mm, which makes it a 6,135 cubic centimeter engine with push rod headers made out of aluminum. For the crankshaft, it's made out of billet steel with the cow rods at lightweight forged and the pistons also at lightweight forged. For the compression, it is set at somewhat of a high 10.8 to 1 with the cam profile set to an 80, and by TA2 and Trans-Am rules, we cannot have VVT whatsoever. For the fuel system, we're using a multi-point EFI for throttle per cylinder configuration with a race intake running on ultimate fuel, with the fuel mixture set to 13.3, the ignition timing raised it all the way up to 100, and the RPM limit set to 6,800 RPM. For the headers, we're using race tubular headers with a single exhaust, the exhaust diameter set to 95.2mm or 3.75 inches, with a high flow 3-way catalytic converter and no mufflers for the front and back. For the drive type, it is a rear-wheel drive of manual 4-speed with the top speed set to 199.1 miles per hour, even though it can go 218, but it's got to have a top speed limit, unfortunately. For the tires, they're both semi-slicks. It sucks we can't put any full-blown racing slicks because, you know, K-Rob said so. With the front tire size set to 235mm and the rear at 275mm, running on 19-inch alloy rims. For the brakes, they're both vented discs in the front and back, but the front brakes are a 2-piston with 300mm size brakes in the front. The rear are a 1-piston vented disc with 270mm in the rear, running on somewhat of a race preset with the pad types, which is set at 73. For the under tray, I was going to go over it quickly. Downforce, plus 50 on the downforce, and pretty much typical sliders for the airflow and everything else right here. It's got a 1-seat sport interior with no entertainment whatsoever. It would be nice if we had like a 5 or 4-seater in this thing to get the family involved. It's got electric variable power steering with no driving aids whatsoever, which were the requirements like I mentioned earlier in the video, with basic 2010 safety standards. For suspension, we're using active sport springs with semi-active dampers, and our only option are passive sway bars running on a race preset. Despite a small list of problems on here, such as the dampers being hard, semi-slick tires, camber, quality issues, and all that good stuff, we're going to export this to BeamNG.drive and test it out. So here we are at the modded map of Road Atlanta, which are one of the TA2 races. And take a look at this car. Say with the sponsorship placements and the TA2 tags, his numbers and everything, it's pretty much, I want to say spot on, but somewhat resembles of Tony Buffomante's 2019 car. Like his previous cars, like in 2018, 17, and 16. It had like a some sort of like striped and two-tone livery like in the back end where it's got like kind of like black up here, some white like up here and down there, like where the number goes. This Retec, Sieg, and U-Lube goes right here. If I would try to do that to replicate that livery, it would take me like a frickin' day or so just to complete that design, which I wasn't really in the mood of doing. So here we are, backed up way over here near the start of the pit road here, right in front of a low poly ambulance here. And we're going to be doing some basic performance tests with this vehicle. The first one we're going to be doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test, second a 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly a top speed run if it's possible on this map. For the size of this track and everything, it's pretty much very doubtful to get 200 miles an hour. I'll be surprised if I do get it on this track before we race it on here. So right now, let's get ready to do the acceleration test starting right now. That wheel's spin, and that's a very loud engine, and 0 to 62 in 5.11 seconds of 255.42 feet. Brake test. Let's get precise now. Spot on at 62 rather than 61, and it almost canceled right there. 62 to 0 in 2.63 seconds of 105.63 feet. Wow, that is not that bad for a car with no ABS whatsoever. I mean, it's somewhat of a lightweight car rather than your 2-ton muscle car, pony car, whatever. I'm surprised. So now for our top speed run, let's get out of pit road here, and let's do it legitimately. Let's not go like flying 100,000 miles an hour to pit road. Let's use the cruise control here, and now. Alright, pit speed limit 50 miles an hour, and I think there's a line up ahead that tells us like you could stop going to speed limit to pit road like right here. And now full throttle. Get ready for the right turn. Kind of got a little bit loose there, but luckily didn't get myself fully loose. And coming in our first turn, I think I raced here in private like a couple times before, but not on YouTube. God damn, man. So might as well just drive right now before I embarrass myself in a time trial. Let's try to get a top speed run going. If we can't, then we'll just crash it. How about here? Here's a good straightaway. And I think the only straightaway that's possible in this map. Let's see. Oh, there's another straightaway. Either drive straight here, turn around, and then go right here. So how fast are we going to be going up here? I think brake now. 127 something miles an hour. Yeah, it's not go hard on the brakes like I usually do if this would be an ABS vehicle. Let's kind of skid out there. Okay, you ready? Full throttle. Go around this straightaway, see how fast we can go. I think this is probably the only straightaway that is left in this map here. And if I can't go to a top speed, I might as well just crash out and then do a race on here, a legitimate time trial. So top speed is no steering, 155 miles an hour. Go slow-mo and fix the camera. And go. Boss the wheel. Just full time it. Always had a lot of room left. Whatever. 136 in the sand pit. And over the wall. Tire deflated. Who cares? And shut the engine off because it's going to starve. So top speed run was unfortunately a fail. I thought there was like a turn that goes like a lot closer than I thought where I crashed out the wall on purpose, but looking at the damage to the car, right here, lost the wheel there, got some benniness in the front of the vehicle where the headlights are at and in the grill too, interesting. And towards the back of the vehicle, got some dents in the side, hardly any damage in the rear, right side. Can we see the tire deflated or no? Like sometimes when the tire's deflated, it like rips a chunk of the rubber off the tire, and I think there's the culprit right here maybe, right? Unless that's just a tire equipment to the chassis, which I think that is. So overall, it's a total mess. So like I said, we're going to be staying at Road Atlanta. We're going to be doing the full Road Atlanta course here with the Mustang. And we're going to be doing 4 laps with a rolling start, which they do in real life in the TA2 series. And hopefully this won't be such a disaster like my powerful super truck video, which was an FIA ETRC super truck that was supposed to compete in the 2001 super truck series, which had a almost 1,100 horsepower engine. And it did 4 laps of this. I think it was at Lakewood Raceway or something like that. Did 4 laps with a rolling start, and every lap didn't count for some odd reason, which I don't know if there was like a bug, mod conflict, or whatever. Hopefully this won't apply once I race here at Road Atlanta, so I'm going to bring you to the starting line right now. What the hell? Hold up. I think we're not going to be racing here anytime soon. Find another course. Hold up. How about Road Atlanta, the motorcycle layout? Will this work, or should I not do, tires deflated. There you have it. I would say not do a rolling start. I think that's the problem. Road Atlanta without a rolling start. 4 laps, late noon, go. Okay, here we go. So there was a problem with the rolling start system on that racetrack. That's very, very weird. So here we are at the start and finish line with the start and finish line checkered line right here with no flagsman in sight, unfortunately. It sucks every time I rotate the analog stick, like right here, it revs the engine somehow. That's very interesting. So let's get things started here with this race. We're just starting 3, 2, 1, go. Watch some of the wheels spin in case we lose control, and good. Not bad. Alright, here comes our first checkpoint, and god damn it, same thing. I think we're gonna have the same problems like many times before. Camera goes in and out like 100 miles an hour, like real quick, and you see the top right of your screen. I don't see a lap time whatsoever, which I don't know what. Wow, that wheel spin and wipe out, which I don't know what the deal is. Went through an update of 0.20, still messes up, and it regulated by cache, it still messes up for some odd reason, which I don't know what the real problem is. Like, if I don't get a lap time here, I might as well just go to West Coast USA and, get a time out of there. Like, do a couple laps just to shorten this out a little rather than making this even more painful. Alright, rather than crashing up out here at the little wall, make this bend, and speed 158. Hard on the brakes. Damn, and first gear wipeout spin. God damn, man. Alright, coming up to our final corners of the first lap. Markers are green, but I don't see a time. Let's see. Do we get anything? Well, we went through that, but across this first checkpoint. In and out, so this thing's broken. It's kind of like the super truck. It's broken, no matter what. God damn it. So, go to a vanilla track, go to West Coast USA, and take it there right now. So here we are, way back here, way behind the start and finish line because we're doing a rolling start here of doing 2 laps of the West Coast USA circuit. It's going to be the one with a chicane, not the chicaneless version of the long racetrack variant. And hopefully, this will be painless as possible doing our 2 laps. So let's get things started here, and ready, go. That's a delayed start because I done it on purpose to synchronize the video. So let's get things ready here, and go. Green flag is out. First lap. Okay, now it's counting. It's not like the one at Road Atlanta where it's screwed up on us. Get on the brakes. Not bad. Would have done a little bit better, but it is what it is on his first lap. I think I might as well just stick to vanilla tracks like here at West Coast USA. Like, it'll be nice for me if those, Jesus Christ, if those other tracks worked out for you, like Road Atlanta, Automation Test Track, Grand Valley Speedway, whatever, where like the camera goes in and out somehow, which I don't know what the problem is. But if that problem was cured somehow, this would have been a problem whatsoever. I would have stayed at Road Atlanta and it would have been a problem whatsoever, and I thought that would have been my turn. This is my turn for the chicane. Yep, that's my turn. Corner, brake, and drift. Doing Ford Mustang stuff. We killed 5 people in the process, and we just drive out like it's done. If this would have been like a regular Mustang, a Mustang GT, Ford EcoBoost 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, or a Shelby Mustang, might as well just choose a Shelby Mustang to run over people. Do some Ford Mustang stuff. Or coming down to Laguna Seca that I kind of suck at. Can I unsuck? Yes, I unsucked for the first time in quite a while. It's like that Laguna Seca type corner, the corkscrew. I think half the time I like overshoot it in some of these races here. Alright, here comes the start and finish line. Our first lap, we get a lap time of 2 minutes, 12 seconds, 127 milliseconds. Second lap time, let's see what we get here. Hard on the brakes and wait for the... Okay, surprisingly it didn't do the wheel spin, the downshift spin, or shift spin as I call it. And for the first checkpoint between the first and second lap, we get a split time of 1.1 seconds. Here, a little bit less, but we got a 1 second difference between first and second lap. And third checkpoint, 2.3 seconds, because I kind of went left and right, shifted left and right back there. Hopefully I won't do that yet again once I complete this second lap here. Or even right here, where I was a dumbass of braking at this chicane, but it's this chicane. Brake, brake. Sip, sip, do the shifty Mustang Mambo. Almost did it right there. Again, at that damn chicane, I swear. And an 8-second split time difference. We just gained 4 seconds between that checkpoint back there and this checkpoint. How about here? And I was negligent to hit the brakes. 8.009 second split time on the top right. I think we're gonna get a sub 210 if we keep this up. So don't screw it up. Brake, turn. 7.2, a lot worse than before. Some wheel spin due to some slight understeering and wheel spin. And Laguna Seca, here we come. Kind of exceeded the track limit there. But look, we didn't go into the sand pit, ruining my career, which hopefully don't want that to do in the near future. So here comes our last corners, last checkpoint. almost a corner cut, and it's going to be a sub 7-second split difference, so a lap time of 2 minutes, 5 seconds, 137 milliseconds, a 6.990 split time, which makes our total time of 4 minutes, 17 seconds, 264 milliseconds. Not that bad, especially for the chicaned version. The chicaneless version would probably be like a 415, 414 or something like that. So get ready to free roam now and crash into these barriers up ahead at 140 something miles an hour. Well, with these tire barriers, the crowd will feel nothing. I'll feel it, but not the crowd. They'll probably feel it in their ego watching the car die right here. So get a camera going, like right here, hide the UI, 100 times slow-mo, and bang, into the tire barrier. Some polygon weirdness right here, including the drive shaft. Tires coming out, go to 60 now. Jiggling like crazy. There goes a brake caliper. Wow. And full time. Engine still running. Are you kidding me? A full 140 mile an hour crash and the engine is still running. Look at this. Here's proof. Look, radiator damage, 2 tires missing, and rev it up. I swear, man, it's like automation vehicles are borderline bulletproof and crash proof, whatever proof. A BeamNG vehicle, they're dead. Engine's dead, interior, everything is dead at that car. With these cars, it's a whole different story, I swear. So take a look at the damage just briefly. Let's look at the drive shaft here. It's a legitimate shank. You can do this in the prison, but you can't do it because you're gonna get caught by the guards and extend your prison sentence. There goes I thought it was a radiator, but a tire exposed there. There is the, is that the engine? Hold up. Yes, that is the engine right there into like some shredded right there. Is that the valve shredded or something shredded? But it's very close to touch the engine. The intakes here are damaged, and I don't know how it's still running with the intakes damaged. It should have been destroyed by now, but weird. And second of all being weird, the Geforce counter is mentally unstable. We're pulling almost 1 Gs of this car bouncing left and right very quickly somehow. So last part of the video, let's see if the TA2 could take off by driving us down to Car Jump Arena for both with the ramp and highway portions of the map. So here we are at Car Jump Arena and the green lights just disappeared on us, so let's wait for the 5 lights, which will be starting anytime now. Well, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, and 5 light, and go. Green light. Kind of like do like it's Formula 1 up in here, and can we get a better 0 to 60 time? And yes, 4.48 seconds of 188.99 feet. Not that bad. If this would have been a pimped out Shelby Mustang, this would probably be a lot faster. And exit speed 170. Controller's messed up. 178 miles an hour upon the exit. So here comes the crash. They would be crashing like 118. Just like that, we lost 3 of the 4 wheels. This one's barely hanging on. Full time all the way. And we lost all the wheels, so there you have it. That's the first time landing hard on Car Jump Arena. We lose all 4 of our wheels, so let's get this out of the water. You okay, tire? This goddamn's acting like it's frickin' Old Faithful up in here at Yellowstone or something. Yeah, tire's still moving, and we get this. Weird. So to get this car out of the water and take a look at the extent of the damage. And can we interrupt that tire? I swear. Let's ignore it. So bring it down, and there goes the tires in the back. I just seen it at the corner of my eye. So bring it down to the ground. You don't care if you slam it down. So lost all 4 tires. Let's bring back the UI. Lost all 4 of them, and oh, we still have the engine. I accidentally turned it off probably when I had a mishap with my controller somehow, so it doesn't run, unfortunately. We're still in 4th gear at 0 miles an hour because we got no tires whatsoever. Exhaust is smoking because we're drying out the engine, and overall the damage, despite losing the wheels, not a whole lot of body damage except right here. It's just losing our wheels. It's not a whole lot of body damage. That's very interesting. Alright, second part of the ramp here before we take this down, a little highway section on the right-hand side of my screen. Let's try to land this. So, 117, are we going to nail it? Oh no, oh no. Nailed it! And drive it all the way down. Get out of 1st gear. Get out of 1st gear. Are you kidding me? Into the wall. Lost the wheel, just like that. If the transmission wouldn't have crapped out on me, this would have gone like 200 miles an hour in the sand and flying into the depths of this map. So I'm gonna try it again. 117 miles an hour. 118, who cares? So brake a little and nailed it. We're in 4th gear, stabilize, go. Here we go, here we go. 179, drift a little. There goes the tires, there goes the barriers. Well, most of the defense, and we're flipping all 4 tires to loss of defense again. And it's tire at our rest. Flip this up because engine, it will be starving of oil sooner or later, and here we go. I thought we had to like do some complicated maneuvers to get this out of the fence, but fortunately, get this upright, we got out of the fence here. So taking a look at this vehicle, we shifted it downward from that tire hit from get to the sand pit there, and then up and around in that fence, and then over here. All 4 tires are missing, like the first impact, the very first impact, and now we got some body damage compared to the first one. Got the front left suspension exposed here, some parts of like the, what, engine or something here, probably the chassis, and we're missing a brake here in the back, including the back left too. Wow. So that's quite a lot of damage compared to the first one. So last part of the video, hit the gas, drive down at the bottom of the highway portion here, this bridge, and crash at the last bridge pillar and get a crash test going of smashing headfirst into the bridge pillar, which is coming up right about now. Get ready. Going around 100. Let's slow it down a little so I can get some precision going. 170, probably 177 upon impact. Yep, I'm right. So 16 times slow-mo all the way. So camera here, 16 times slow-mo. Resume physics in 3, 2, 1, go. Bring back the FOV. There goes the impact. Tires are spinning like crazy up in here, and full time. Here we go. Front tire still spinning. That tire wants to be free, but you're still in captivity, buddy. Back tires. Wow. Don't put your hand in there. Even this tire too. So killed the engine like I've expected. Flattened the front end of the vehicle with the engine exposed right here in the middle of the grille. The other portions of the vehicle shifted it downward here. Whoops, shifted this downwards. Reset the FOV. Shifted it downward here with the numbers missing right here. Some of the sponsorships messed up, including the back right portion of the vehicle too. That's a little bit messed up. The back end, okay, except for right here. The left side, even though this is also bent up here, the middle and front portion of the vehicle, and this portion of chassis, clip it through the tire doesn't even care. It's not being shredded up or being cut up at the rim and just flying any fiberglass shards all over the place. It'll get yourselves itchy if you get exposed to fiberglass with the fibers on your skin. So that is pretty much a brutal crash right there. For a race car, they'll probably die in there, which that's going to be pretty unfortunate that were to happen, but hopefully that won't happen to any real-life race car drivers out there. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the TA2 Ford Mustang. It isn't that bad of a racing vehicle that does comply with Trans-Am specs of the TA2 class. While it is a tad difficult to drive because of having no driving aids whatsoever, which includes traction control and ABS. For cars like this, you'll get used to it as you'll learn how to drive such a powerful car that has wheel spin and tires that could skid due to hitting the brakes too hard. Compared to my last racing vehicle, the JMC H-Series Super Truck, they are on par with each other, even though the Super Truck barely had any wheel spin compared to the Mustang. The bottom line of this vehicle, it's a fine, legitimate racing vehicle that can drive, corner, and do racing stuff in the TA2 series. So this has been Mr. Jack and 000. I'll see you in the next video.